If you are looking for a mouse under the price range of 500 rupees, then you are on the right video. This is the review of the Redgear A15. It is a budget mouse which I got for around 450 rupees by applying some cashback offers, and you can get one easily too from Amazon or Flipkart. So let's start the review. First up, build and outers. The particular version that I have has a white shell around it, but the rest is same as the black version. And I have to say that the looks are absolutely great, but the build quality is somewhat like 8 out of 10. First of all, this thing has 2 layers of shell with metal plate and whatnot. I mean, you can easily reduce this to one layer on top, easy 10 to 20 grams and 50 rupees of cost. And a side note, this thing creaks a lot. But that doesn't affect the user experience, as it does so only when it is intentionally forced to do so. Shape and size. Well, the shape of this mouse is pretty long and it favors palm grip over claw grip. By the way, my hand is 19 centimeters long and the back of the shell is not very raised, which may be good or bad for you depending on your grip style. Though I personally feel that the length of the mouse should have been shorter. Switches and sound test. This mouse has some non-branded switches, but I feel that they are pretty tactile, though I do wish these were a bit silent, but it is fine for the price. Then talking about the rest of the buttons, the side buttons are very mushy because they are like a wedge friction actuated, something like that. Rest of the buttons are very similar to the main buttons, including the scroll wheel button. But the scroll wheel itself start rubbing soon with the sides with a short period of use, making it a bit harder to scroll, but it is not a big issue. Software. Another good thing about this mouse is that it has software support. The software interface looks like this, and you can do stuff like change the RGB, disable it, set macros, make profiles, fine-tune your DPI preferences, etc. And this mouse has some sort of onboard memory and it remembers the RGB, DPI and macro settings. And you can also set certain features according to certain applications, like for media applications, you can set certain macros that will only work when such applications are opened. For example, VLC player or some media player. Now coming to the one and only thing to keep in mind while buying this mouse. The sensor. The sensor used in this mouse is a 6400 dpi laser sensor, and that's why it has a lot of inaccuracy when doing minute adjustments, like those when clicking small cross buttons, even on low dpi. And then when you pick up the mouse, a lot of motion is detected and it moves the cursor even when it is around 1 inch above the surface, whereas optical sensors don't do this. Conclusion. Though you cannot get an optical sensor mouse at this cost with all other features that I mentioned, but if there is some sale or you have a slightly higher budget, you should definitely check for some other mouse